Members of the Fly Music Society, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing another member reaction. Kara Garrison, who's been one of the longest tenured members to my channel, so I appreciate you, Kara. Thank you so much. She wanted me to react to Ren Patience. She posted the request in the Discord. As a member of the YouTube, you get your own special section in the Discord where you can put your request so I can kind of organize it a little bit better. I heard that this is a very, very, very young Ren. This is not his official YouTube that was posted this, but it was posted 8 years ago. So kind of right before he understand what was going on with his sickness, he was just starting to kind of feel not so great. And so what I heard is his mental state here is a little bit heavy, and it's a kind of a little bit of a sad song. So hopefully I don't get too emotional on this one. Before we get into it, members are live on my YouTube channel. Perks include early access to videos like this one, specific videos made specifically for members, which you'll see up here as a card. Member shoutouts, cool perks like that. Same thing on my Patreon. It's the same exact thing there, just a different area. Also, if you would like to request a song, you can definitely do so in the comments. I do have a Streamlabs link in the description if you would like to get ahead of the game, move to the top of the list and do a request. The tip link is down below as well. Again, none of that is expected or required. It just helps the channel a lot, and all that goes right back into the channel to give you more content. So that's highly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into this. Like I said, I'm nervous. I'm going to get emotional, but you just got to bite the bullet and do it. All right, here we go. Ren Gill Patience.
And I've learnt some lessons that will be so valuable for like, so it's a blessing and a curse being this ill, because it's completely changed me. Like it's turned me from a little cocky teenager into somebody who's quite this, I guess, prepared for things.
Oh man,
now. Like I feel like once I've gone through this, I'll throw anything at me and it'll be okay. But
like 17, 18 here.
At the same time, as much as I see it as a blessing, I hate it. I do hate it. I think it was Thomas Edison that was like, I haven't failed. Okay. I've just found 1,000.
It looks like this is right after he was diagnosed with ME, right? It's crazy the diagnosis. How do you say it? Diagnosed illnesses he went through before they finally figured out that it was Lyme disease. I can't even say it, by the way, which is why I'm saying ME. Myalgic encephalomyelitis. That's close. I'm looking it up because I don't know exactly what it is. It's disabling complex illness. People with ME are often not able to do their usual activities. At time, ME may confine them to bed. People that may have overwhelming fatigue that is not improved by rest. So it's essentially chronic fatigue syndrome, which is one of the symptoms of having Lyme disease, right? Now, in hindsight, it makes sense, but it's crazy that he had to go through all of this stuff. But let's continue with the video.
Some things that don't work, which is kind of nice to look at it that way, like I'm just eliminating things. But it really challenges my mind. And yeah, it's just gotten to the point where I'm spending, let's say, like 95% of my life in a bedroom, which kind of sucks. Because my mind is in such a different place in my body. My mind craves life so much.
It's alright, it's okay. I'm feeling brave, gonna face this day. It's okay, it's alright. No tears will kiss my cheeks tonight. And it's all good, and I'm just fine. My words ring out like hollow shells. Just slow down, it takes time. But time moves slow, I know this well. And my heart breaks 1,000 times a day. But for every hope that dies, another one takes its place.
My heart breaks 1,000 times a day. And you can see, just like with a lot of the other songs that he's done, right? You can see the pain in his eyes, but I think this one was like before he's kind of come to terms with his illness and has been fighting it. It sounds like so far it's a positive song, but you can tell it was almost like a coping mechanism.
And my heart breaks 1,000 times a day. But for every hope that dies, another one takes its place. Because I have the strength of a mountain, and now I've got the courage of the deep blue sea, and I have the heart of a lion, and the stars burn bright inside of me. And although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see that I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me.
Little E minor licks here. He's playing a lot of I'm gonna break down music a little bit. He's playing a lot of just basically playing the 1 and the 3 of the chords, which is common in Ren. I know he's done that with Chalk Outlines. He did that. How to Be Me, he did that. High Ren, he did that. So obviously the third is the most important part of any chord. Obviously the 1 is too, but the third is the most important part. It's how you define whether it's minor, major, what key it's in, etc. Doing a lot of inversions, which means instead of having the 1 at the bottom or at the root of the chord, sometimes you have the 3 or the 5 at the bottom, which gives it a different inversion of the chord, right? But I want to talk about this one line here.
Bright inside of me, and although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see that I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me.
Talking about why is God testing him? Why is God testing him? But also he's gonna just, he's gonna take it in stride. He's gonna, take everything that he's throwing at him. Like I said, I feel like part of this, I think part of any having a positive and its attitude in crisis has a lot to do with being like coping with what your situation is. And I also think it has a lot to do with tricking your mind, right? Like if you act like you feel well and act like you have a positive attitude, it eventually your body coagulates that. You end up having a positive attitude. It doesn't always work like that, but I think in a lot of cases you can trick your mind into feeling that way. It's amazing what Ren can do with songs and just like a guitar, right? Because again, Chalk Outlines, High Ren, those were it's just guitar, and him and How to Be Me was just guitar, him and Chinchilla. But you get what I'm saying? The amount of emotion he can evoke with just his voice, his words, and his guitar, still crazy, amazing. He has the E string, open E string playing on a lot of that. That's one hint that it's in E minor, but obviously the notes he's playing is all in E minor.
This world is quite scary, I know that cause I've been here for some time, but all that prepares me for a day when I can truly shine. Cause I've been so broken, and picking up fragments of myself, I'll glue them back together so I can stand at the edge of this world and yell that my heart. And when I can truly shine, cause I've been so broken, and picking up fragments of myself, I'll glue them back together so I can stand at the edge of this world and yell.
So broken, picking up fragments of myself so I can put them back together.
Glue them back together so I can stand at the edge of this world and yell.
You can stand at the edge of this world and yell. I feel like when things get tough, a lot of times we tend to recluse, we tend to shut down. Me included, man. Like, you guys know all the things I've talked about with my newly found depression and my anxiety and just all of that stuff. It's very easy to want to just shut down, seclude yourself until the feeling passes. And sometimes that's the right thing to do. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you need to talk about it. But I think the most satisfaction you can get is fighting through it. Don't let it take over you, but you take control of it. And then you can scream to the heavens that you did this. You accomplished it.
My heart breaks 1,000 times a day. For every hope that dies, another one takes its place. Because I have the strength of a mountain, and I've got the courage of the deep blue sea, and I have the heart of a lion, and the stars burn bright inside of me. And although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see that I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me.
I like that change.
I'll dust the cobwebs off this sheath.
Played a little, was that a minor fourth intervals there? Pretty cool riff. Kind of steers away from the rest of the song, but I really like.
I'll dust the cobwebs off this sheath, and I'll take the sword of my belief, and in this storm I will not flinch.
Gonna ride the storm.
And I will not move, no, not an inch. Because I have the strength of a mountain, I've got the courage of the deep blue sea, and I'll have the heart of a lion, and the stars they burn bright inside of me. But although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me.
I think while this song is obviously a little bit more, I wouldn't say simplistic, it's not as bombastic as like High Ren, for instance, even like Animal Flow, right? You can see the early artist here. That was a kind of a compositional, cool thing to watch. His young mind was very good at writing songs already. You can see that from this. But again, 8 years ago, and a lot can happen in 8 years, as he found out. 8 years ago, he was already writing very, very well. I personally, right, I can play the guitar. I'm getting back to where I used to be with that. I can analyze lyrics. I can analyze songs. I can talk about chord progressions and stuff. The hardest thing for me, besides writing lyrics, is composing a song that is, not boring, if that makes sense. And he's obviously, from a very young age, was very good at that. I do want to say, though, that it's kind of crazy to see a young Ren put a positive spin on what he was going through. And I'm sure his music definitely, he said before that his music has helped with that. But to think you have chronic fatigue, you don't know how you're going to get through it. And to be able to, you can see how angry he is and how sad he is that he's going through it. But then what he's talking about, or what he's saying in the song, is kind of the opposite of that. And I think it's a very interesting thing to kind of look at the mind and how it works with that. I just thought that was really almost a look into his mind as to what he's doing to kind of cope with the situation. I think for me, really, this one didn't, while it's sad to see him go through these things and see him have to cope with this at such a young age, it looks like he was about, if this was 2015, let me think about how old I was in 2015. I was 25. So he must have been around there. It said 2010, so I don't know how. This says 2016 it came out. I don't know if I believe that or not, but say he was about 25. To have to go through all of that at 25, it makes you grow up real fast. And he kind of talked about that in the song, but it's very, very, very crazy that he had to deal with that. My whole point to this, though, is I understand that. I have empathy. I have sympathy for him in that. And it sucks. It really does. And I got a little emotional during the song when he's talking about having to deal with that and taking what God's going to give him and all those things, because I've been through that before. I think this one, it's a very weird thing to kind of look back and see where his mind was at. And I'm very glad that he's got past this to where it's not ME now. We know that it's Lyme disease and he's getting treatment. So Kara, thank you so much for this Ren suggestion. I've been trying to do one Ren video a week, but I'm also trying to do a member video every week. So again, I kind of doubled up here, but I really enjoyed that. There's going to be a lot more Ren on the channel. I'm going to start diving into his Freckled Angels album. I know I said I want to do more upbeat stuff, but I really want to check out his Freckled Angels album. That's kind of where he kind of, I wouldn't say blew up, but that's like his love child is that album. So I really want to get into that next. So expect to hear Freckled Angels probably next. And we'll mix in some the Big Push stuff and Sam Tompkins stuff along the way. So I really appreciate the support you guys have been showing me so much. The channel's up to 3,600 subscribers right now. Amazing what 2 or 3 months can do in this new format. It's amazing. I'm very humbled. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support, and please do remember that good vibes are contagious.